Hello and welcome to the SMunger Cup Series, the Clash at Eldora. My name is Steven, I'm your host today, and we're in for a long day of racing today. 2 heats, a last chance qualifier, and then the main event. And real quick, yesterday's practice, Chase Newman, Ryan Delago get together, Chad Jones will turn Ryan Delago around, and Dave Wilson goes barrel rolling into turn number 1, unable to avoid the accident. Will flip 8 or 9 times in his number 20 Home Depot Ford Mustang. Here's another look at it. Ryan Delago spins off the nose of Jones and high flying barrel rolls for Dave Wilson in the number 20. He was okay. They did pull out the backup car, and he was able to line up on the grid where he initially qualified. But for heats 1 and 2, it's 8 cars in 5 laps each, and the top 5 advance to the main based on the heat 1 left lane, heat 2 right lane. The last chance qualifiers, the 6 cars that are left, the top 2 there advance to the main, and that'll fill out your 12 car field for the main event, the Clash at Eldora. So the cars are underway. They're doing the pace laps for heat number 1, and we're gonna get into your starting lineup here in just one moment. Off to number 4, Dice Guy is your pole sitter. Drake Goslin to his outside. Cackert and SMunger row 2. Dave Wilson after that flip and William Schmidt make up row 3. Michael McCammon on the inside of Tanner Mann in row number 4. So you see they're making their way down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. The pace car is getting ready to pull off, and heat number 1 is getting ready to get started. And coming off turn number 4, Dice Guy will bring him to the green flag. Green flag will start heat number 1 here at Eldora. They're fanning 3 wide, at least 2 rows deep getting into turn number 1. Dice Guy out front, but here comes Munger with a strong move to the outside on lap number 1. Leading going into turn number 3. Schmidt goes to second, McCammon third. Dice Guy has fallen to 4th. Wilson holding the last transfer spot in 5th. Cackert's first one out in 6th. Mann in 7th, Drake Goslin 8th, Munger still leading out front. McCammon battling Schmidt for 2nd place there. Wilson will move to the 4th position there, 3 wide there for the 4th position. And now the current top 5 are Munger, McCammon, Cackert, Schmidt, and Wilson hanging on to the final transfer spot. Tanner Mann looking to hunt him down. Dice Guy falling all the way to 7th after starting on the pole. And Drake Goslin, after starting outside pole, has fallen all the way to 8th. They're getting pretty single file up front, but the battle for the 4th position is getting pretty interesting. Wilson, Mann now the final transfer spot holder in 5th. Schmidt falls to 6th. Mann takes that position back. Schmidt's not done with him yet. He's going to move him getting into turn number 3. Oh no! Dice Guy and Tanner Mann get together in turns 3 and 4. Around they'll goes. The white flag comes out. Schmidt takes the 5th position. Goslin moves to 6th. So the leaders are in turns 3 and 4, coming back to the checkered flag. Stephen Munger will win the first heat, followed by Michael McCammon. Dave Wilson, Cackert close in 4th, and Schmidt will take the final transfer spot in the 5th position of heat 1. Drake Goslin, Dice Guy, and Tanner Mann will have to race their way in the last chance qualifier later. But your first heat winner is Stephen Munger in that 09 Channel Lock Mustang. And let's take a look riding on board Drake Goslin, who was in last place at the time. William Schmidt got into Tanner Mann. Mann gets loose, comes down, and right into Dice Guy. Cleans him out. Straight cleans him out, coming to the white flag. And I don't know if I can entirely blame Tanner Mann for that. He got hit, went up, got hit again, got loose, came down, and just nowhere for Dice Guy to go. Really unfortunate. Those guys were fast. They were battling for the 5th and 6th position for most of this race. Unfortunately, Dice Guy wasn't as close to his pole speed as he had earlier in the week. Let's take one more look at it. You see William Schmidt will turn Tanner Mann down into Dice Guy. There's nowhere for the two of them to go, but into each other. Unfortunate way for them to end heat 1, but they will have another chance in the LCQ later. That'll come after the second heat goes underway. So, the main event lineup, Heat 1 sets the inside lane. So your top 5 from Heat 1 will set the inside lane. It's going to be Munger first, McCammett third, Wilson 5th, Kackert 7th, and William Schmidt 9th on the main event lineup grid. Alrighty, so we're getting ready to take a quick intermission, getting ready to pull these cars back into the garage and bring the Heat 2 cars to pit road. We will be right back with Heat number 2, guys. Alright, welcome back from the break. We are getting ready for Heat number 2. As you see, the cars are now rolling off pit road behind the Chevrolet Camaro pace car. And yes, we did have a Camry pace car in Heat number 1. We brought both pace cars. Show them off here at the Flash. We'd like to thank Snowburger for sending in the Toyota Camry skin for that pace car. Anyway, here's the starting lineup for Heat number 2. Jaden Winkleson on the pole in the inside lane. Chase Newman outside. Chad Jones and Tyler Rogers make up row 2. Cooper Glick 5th, and Lazard outside makes row 3. And Jax Riley starting 7th. Ryan Delago outside of him, and 8th makes row 4. The cars making their way through turns 3 and 4. Pace cars pulling down pit road, and they're getting ready to start Heat number 2. Winkleson will bring them to the green flag, and Heat 2 underway. Chad Jones already going 3 wide under Cooper Glick and Tyler Rogers for the 3rd position. Getting down to turn number 1, and towards the back, Jax Riley and Lazard are bouncing off of each other. Up in turns 3 and 4, Winkleson will lead lap 1, Chase Newman 2nd, Chad Jones 3rd, Tyler Rogers 4th, Cooper Glick sideways on the nose of Delago for 5th. Delago's going to take that position. Glick will fall to 6th. And Jax Riley and Lazard will slam into each other again going down the back straightaway. Really going to hurt their chances of making the main during this heat. As they go into lap number 3 and are in turns number 1 and 2. Delago making his way into the 3rd position over Chad Jones and Tyler Rogers, who are battling for the 4th position. And up into turns 3 and 4, Chase Newman making a pass on Jaden Winkleson for the lead. And here comes Ryan Delago on the inside with 2 to go. Down into turn number 1, making a pass on the lead on Chase Newman. So Ryan Delago is now your leader, followed by Newman, Winkleson, Jones, and Rogers hanging on to the final transfer spot. Cooper Glick 6th, Lazard 7th, and Jax Riley 8th. As you see Jones getting sideways on the nose of Rogers as the white flag comes out. They are catching Winkleson. That's for the 3rd position. Jones trying to move on the outside. Now he's going to try one on the inside, getting into turn number 3. Oh, he doors him into the wall. As Ryan Delago will take the checkered flag. Newman 2nd. Side by side for 3rd, and side by side for 5th. Lazard will take the final transfer position from Winkleson at the line. He absolutely slammed him into the wall, but you got to do what you got to do at the end of the race for the last transfer spot. Heat 2 goes to Ryan Delago. He'll win it. Chase Newman beating on the bumper as they come down pit road. Not happy with that pass. But here's a replay. Chad Jones shoves Winkleson to the wall, allows Rogers to pass him, and it gave Lazard just enough time to get there and also put Winkleson in the wall to make that pass. Riding on board Jaden Winkleson. And Jones got passed by Rogers making that move happen, and that's for the 4th position. And then Lazard will take one more and lock himself into the main. And as you see, Winkelson's not happy about it. He's going to door him all the way through turns 1 and 2, leaning against him. And riding on board Ryan Delago, he's the pass for the lead between Newman and Winkleson, and then between Delago and Newman. A little bit of contact between all 3 of the drivers, really. And again, you got to do what you got to do to make the main event here at Eldora. So that'll set your outside lane. Delago will go to 2nd, Newman 4th, Rogers 6th, Jones 8th, Lazard 10th. And somebody has put Jaden Winkleson on top of the end of the pit road entrance. So we're going to cut the break. We'll be right back. We got to get him off the wall. The car is rolling off pit road, getting ready to do the pace laps for the last chance qualifier. And this is the last race before the main event, the Clash at Eldora. The top 2 finishers here in the last chance qualifier will start 11th and 12th in the main event. And they will also run 5 laps just like in the main. So here's your starting lineup. It is Drake Goslin on the inside of row 1, Jaden Winkleson outside, and in row 2 on the inside is Dice Guy, outside is Cooper Glick. Row 3 on the inside is Tanner Mann, and rounding out the field is Jax Riley. Toyota Camry pace car pulling to the inside in turn number 3, getting ready to go down the pit road as Drake Goslin gets ready to pull him through turns 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway to the green flag to start the last chance qualifier. Rolling down into turn number 1, Tanner Mann goes low, but Cooper Glick goes up the middle. Huge run up the middle as Jaden Winkleson turns Drake Goslin down the back straightaway in front of the field. But everybody keeps it straight. Everybody's going to slam into each other, and Cooper Glick will lead lap 1 by almost half a straightaway. Dice Guy moves into the second position. Jax Riley with a strong run on the outside. He's going to take the second position. That is the final transfer spot for the final position in the main event. Here comes Tanner Mann on the outside of Dice Guy, excuse me. 3 to go. Cooper Glick leading and continuing to run away with the lead. Tanner Mann now looking to make a run on Jax Riley as they get down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. Going to his outside first. Nothing to make of it there. He's going to cut to the inside. A crossover down the front straightaway and into turn number 1. Tanner Mann with a strong run coming through turns 1 and 2, but I don't think it's enough to clear him just yet. Down the back straightaway and into turn number 3, they're going to single file once again. Cooper Glick almost a straightaway ahead of these two on the white flag. These two are pretty much all that's left battling for that final transfer spot as Dice Guy, Goslin, and Winkleson have fallen off. Cooper Glick leads them into 3 and 4. Tanner Mann to the outside on the bumper of Jax Riley. They're going to bump. They're going to slam through turns 3 and 4 down to the start and finish line. Cooper Glick will win. Tanner Mann with the final transfer spot. Jax Riley will come home third, followed by Dice Guy, Jaden Winkleson, and Drake Goslin will round out the field. Cooper Glick will win the last chance qualifier, and he will make the main event with Tanner Mann on the last row. An impressive drive for Tanner Mann there at the end of the race. We're going to take one last look at that last lap pass going into turn number 3. He's going to go low, get to the bumper, move him up. He's going to door him, and you got to do what you got to do. Coming to the checkered flag, that's the last transfer spot. We have seen a lot of aggressive moves tonight out of these guys. A lot of beating and banging, and it's usually for that last spot. Riding on board Mann as he moves Riley out of the way. Coming to the checkered flag. He didn't put him in the wall, and he didn't spin him. He moved him. He moved him quite a bit. And riding on board Jax Riley as they go down into turn number 3. See him in the mirror. You see the bump. You see the slam. And you see the checkered flag. And you see Jax Riley's hopes of making the main go out the window. Disappointed with that move. Shows him down the back straightaway. He's chasing him down pit road too. A lot of angry drivers, and we haven't even gotten to the main event yet. Speaking of the main event, Glick and Mann will make up the last row. Goslin, Winkleson, Riley, and Guy do not qualify for the main event. One more quick intermission. We'll be back with the main event right after this. Welcome back to the Clash at Eldora. As you see, the cars are rolling off the pit road to start the main event. Making their way down the back straightaway, and as you've seen in the heats and in the last chance qualifier, they're getting desperate. They're hitting each other, they're spinning each other out, and we've already had a lot of tempers flaring at the end of the heats and the last chance qualifier, and that was just to qualify into this race. So I'm sure we got a great show ahead of us, and let's get into the lineup. Munger starts on the pole with Delago to his outside for row 1. McCammett and Newman make up row 2. Wilson and Rogers make up row number 3. Cackert, Chad Jones make up row 4. William Schmidt and Lazard make up row 5. Cooper Glick and Tanner Mann, after that incredible run in the LCQ, will round out the field. You see Munger brings him down to the green flag to start the clash, the main event here at Eldora. Riding down into turn number 1. They're taking it a lot easier than they were in the heats. They know it's the opening lap, and it's twice the length of either the heats or the LCQ. Getting through turns number 3 or 4. Oh, no, oh my god, they are wrecking at the rear of the field. Chase Newman looked like he just checked up in the middle of the corner, went to make a lane change, and just wasn't clear. Spun himself out in the 6th or 7th position. Collects Tanner Mann, Cooper Glick, William Schmidt, Chad Jones, all with damage. The leaders coming off turn number 4, collect lap number 3. On board with Ryan Delago. In the 3rd position behind Dave Wilson as they come off turn number 2. And Michael McCammett taking the 3rd position from Ryan Delago as they go into turn number 3. Cackert looking to take the 4th position from him. He's on the inside now. They come to the start and finish line. Start lap number 4. Munger still leads, but Wilson and McCammett right on his bumper. They actually get together coming off turn 2. Checking up down the back straightaway, and around goes McCammett. Around goes Wilson. And they're both going to save it, but here comes Lazard. Makes contact with Wilson, trying to get around him. So the leaders go down into turn number 1. They put Tanner Mann a lap down on lap number 5, coming off turn number 2. And William Schmidt going to the garage with heavy right front damage. I'm not exactly sure where that came from. We might have a replay at the end of the race to show you. They are now halfway through this race. It's Munger, Cackert, Delago, Rogers, and McCammett has dropping like a... Oh, McCammett just spun going into turn number 1. He and Chad Jones have crashed hard. Chad Jones with a ton of front end damage. And he's going to take that straight to the garage, it looks like. It looks like he's knocked the radiator out of it. Here comes the leaders coming out of turn number 2 into 3. Coming to 3 to go. It's Munger, Cackert, Delago, Rogers, Wilson. And you see Jones taking his battered Chevrolet to the garage. On board with Tyler Rogers in the 4th position. He is on the bumper of Delago, looking to make a move on the inside now as you see Cackert on the bumper of Munger up front. Just ahead of these two. They're coming back to 2 laps to go. Munger, Cackert, Delago, Rogers, Wilson, Lazard, Newman, Glick, McCammett, and Mann round out the top 10, Mann being 1 lap down. Oh, it's like Rogers into the 3rd position moves to Delago, and in turns 3 and 4, Munger and Cackert with big contact. Cackert has a flat right front tire as the white flag comes out. It's the last lap for Munger. He's running away with it. And Cackert, after such a strong run, makes contact in turn 3 and cuts a tire down. Rogers to 2nd, Wilson 3rd, Delago in 4th. Munger will win the clash at Eldora, and they are 3 wide for the 3rd position. Did Delago take that? Delago was 5th going into that corner. Crazy finish here at Eldora. Stephen Munger will collect the win after what was a strong Heat 1 and then a strong Clash run. Cackert definitely had the better car, I would argue. But Cackert went in, got loose underneath Munger, hit him, and it cut Cackert's right front tire down. And Munger is able to run away with the checkered flag. He's even doing donuts on the dirt for the fans. I don't think I've ever seen anybody in a stock car do donuts on dirt, so this is pretty cool. He's going to burn them down. Alright, we're cutting to some replays now. So, here is the end of the race. See, Wilson takes the 2nd position. And Rogers looks like he's 3rd. It's a dead heat at the line. I think Delago's got it by half an inch at the line. But definitely beats him all the way across the line. So it's going to be Delago 3rd, Rogers 4th, and Lazard rounding out the top 5 after starting this race. I believe he started this race 10th and was involved in that lap 1 wreck. So an impressive comeback for Lazard at the end of this race to end it with a top 5. You're riding on board with Tanner Mann. This is the lap 1 wreck. You know, yeah, Newman just chopped down on Jones and just stacked up the whole field coming off turn 4. And Mann, who had such a fast car, gets spun around and never really had a chance to come back in this race. Very unfortunate. You see William Schmidt. Oh, he got knocked up the track by Cooper Glick, and this is literally for the 10th position. And I think he just Tire's definitely not flat. You can see it through the hood. I think he went down there trying to head on him, trying to knock him out, and he missed him. So Schmidt takes himself out of the race. And you're riding on board with Jones, who gets into Chase Newman off 4. You see McCammett spinning down into turn number 1. And just parks it in the bottom lane. Nowhere for Chad Jones to really go in that. He was off the throttle. McCammett just rolled up right in front of him. Munger is your winner, and he is pulling into victory lane here at Eldora. And the next race we're going to is Daytona for the first points race of the season. I've had a lot of fun here at Eldora. I hope you guys have had a lot of fun so far this season. And I'll see you guys next week. This is SMunger signing out. I'll see you guys later.